The power of stillness. Why you should never chase anyone. There's a quiet power that exists in those who refuse to chase. It's not arrogance, it's not indifference, it's mastery. It's the realization that what is meant for you will never require you to beg, to lose sleep, or to compromise your self-respect to keep it. The person who does not chase understands one of the greatest Stoic truths. Peace is found not in controlling others, but in controlling yourself. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." And that is the essence of never chasing anyone. Because when you chase people, you give them control over your emotions. You make their attention your reward, their approval your oxygen. You hand over the power that was meant to be yours. And the Stoic would say, that is the first step towards suffering. Think about it. How many times have you found yourself overthinking someone's silence? How often have you lost your peace waiting for a message, an apology, a sign that they still care? The Stoics would tell you, this is slavery of the mind. You are no longer free. Because the moment your happiness depends on another person's behavior, you are no longer in control of your life. They are. Seneca warned, "He who suffers before it is necessary, suffers more than is necessary." When you chase people, you suffer twice. Once because they left, and again because you cannot let go. But detachment, real detachment, is not coldness. It is strength. It is the ability to say, I will love, I will give, I will care, but I will never beg. The one who chases is always running away from something: loneliness, fear, insecurity, or the need to be validated. But the one who stands still, the one who learns to be at peace within himself, is the one the world eventually chases. Because there's something magnetic about self-control. People are drawn to those who don't need them. The more you need someone, the further they drift. The less you need anyone, the more life starts moving toward you. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Don't waste time convincing anyone to see your worth. Don't argue for love, attention, or friendship. Be the kind of person whose presence speaks for itself. Be so disciplined, so focused, so centered, that your silence has more weight than another person's approval. The Stoic mind doesn't chase. It builds. It creates. It grows. It moves forward with purpose. Because chasing is a distraction, a way to avoid the deeper work within yourself. You chase because you think something out there will complete you. But nothing outside you can ever fill what's missing inside. Epictetus said, when someone is properly grounded in life, they shouldn't have to look outside themselves for approval. That's the foundation of inner peace, to stop searching for meaning in other people. Every time you chase someone, you forget that your purpose is not to be chosen. Your purpose is to become. To become strong, wise, calm, resilient. To be so complete within yourself that whether someone stays or leaves, your peace remains untouched. Let me tell you something powerful. When you stop chasing, you start attracting. Not because of manipulation, but because people respect strength. They can feel it in your presence, in your silence, in your calm. The man or woman who does not chase anyone radiates confidence. They don't talk about it, they are it. They walk into a room and you can feel it. This person doesn't need validation. This person is free. Freedom is the ultimate Stoic goal, and chasing destroys it. The moment you start chasing, you lose control of your emotions and therefore your freedom. The Stoics taught that freedom is not the ability to do what you want. It's the ability to not be ruled by your desires. And nothing reveals desire like chasing. Chasing attention, chasing love, chasing acceptance. When you stop chasing, life tests you. People will pull away to see if you'll follow. The ego will scream for attention. The mind will whisper, reach out, don't lose them. But that's the test, the moment you must stay still. Because every time you resist the urge to chase, you strengthen your mind. Every time you choose calm over chaos, you reclaim your power. You must remind yourself, peace is expensive, and chasing is the price that destroys it. Do not trade your tranquility for temporary validation. If someone can walk away from you, let them. If they can ignore you, let them. If they can live without you, let them. Their absence is not a loss, it's clarity. It shows you where you truly stand. And in that clarity there is freedom. Because now you can redirect that energy, all that emotion, all that focus, toward yourself. Build something. Grow. Train your body. Discipline your mind. Create habits that make you proud when you wake up in the morning. The energy you used to waste chasing people, invest it in becoming someone worth knowing, someone worth respecting. The Stoic path is not about isolation, it's about elevation. You don't isolate to punish others, you elevate to find yourself. You walk alone not because you hate people, but because you love peace more than attention. You learn that solitude is not loneliness. Solitude is strength disguised as silence. Marcus Aurelius would wake up before dawn, meditate on life's impermanence, and prepare his mind to face the day. He understood that people would lie, cheat, disappoint, and leave, but he refused to let that change his nature. He refused to chase what didn't align with his purpose. You must do the same. When you stop chasing, you allow what's meant for you to flow naturally. Life becomes lighter, simpler, more focused. You no longer waste energy trying to control what's beyond you. Instead, you direct that energy toward mastering what's within, your reactions, your patience, your focus, your peace. Remember this truth and let it sink deep. You never lose people who truly value you. You only lose those who were never meant to stay. And that is not a tragedy, it's liberation. So the next time you feel the urge to chase, pause. Breathe. Ask yourself, what am I chasing, the person or the feeling of being enough? If it's the feeling, know this, no person can give that to you. You must give it to yourself. You must look in the mirror and decide, I am enough. I don't need anyone to complete me, to define me, or to choose me. That's when you rise. That's when you shift from chasing to creating, from needing to becoming. And that's when life begins to chase you, not because you begged for it, but because you became magnetic through peace, purpose, and power. Never chase anyone, my friend. Build yourself so strong, so calm, and so centered that losing anyone no longer shakes your foundation. The one who does not chase is not empty, he is full. He is complete. He is unshakable. The art of letting go, turning pain into power. There comes a point in every person's life when they must learn the art of letting go. Letting go of people who no longer value your presence. Letting go of situations that drain your peace. Letting go of expectations that constantly disappoint. The Stoics believed that peace begins the moment you stop trying to control what is not yours to control. And few lessons in life are more difficult or more freeing than this one. Marcus Aurelius once said, accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. Notice the wisdom in those words. He does not say, cling to them. He says, accept them. Because acceptance is strength. Attachment is weakness. To accept is to understand that everything and everyone in your life is temporary. To attach is to suffer when change inevitably comes. When you chase people, you refuse to accept that truth. You try to rewrite fate. You try to force someone to stay who was meant to leave. And in doing so, you break your own heart, not because they walked away, but because you refused to walk away when it was time. The Stoics taught that pain is not your enemy. Pain is a teacher. It strips away illusions and forces you to see reality for what it is. When someone leaves and you resist that reality, you suffer twice. Once from the loss itself, and again from your refusal to accept it. But if you meet that pain with awareness, with patience, and with calm acceptance, it transforms you. You learn that you were never truly losing them, you were finding yourself. Seneca said, he who fears death will never do anything worthy of a living man. In the same spirit, he who fears loss will never experience real freedom. Because real freedom means being unafraid to let go. To look at something or someone you love and say, if this must end, I will still be whole. That is true strength, to hold love gently, not tightly. To be grateful for it but not dependent on it. When you stop chasing, you make room for clarity. You begin to see who truly cares, who shows up, who respects your energy. The people who are meant for you will never require you to beg, because they recognize your worth without needing to be reminded. But you can only see that clearly when you stop running after what's leaving. Because sometimes what feels like rejection is actually protection, life's way of redirecting you towards something better. Think about how rivers flow. They never chase the water that's gone. They keep moving, carving new paths, finding new ways to reach the ocean. That's how your spirit should be, constantly flowing, never clinging, never desperate. When you learn to let go, you begin to trust the current of life. You stop fighting the flow and instead you move with it. You begin to understand that what leaves was never yours and what's yours will always find its way back. Not because you chased it, but because you allowed it. The Stoics practiced a method called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. They would visualize losing the things and people they valued most. Not to be cold or detached, but to strengthen their gratitude and prepare their minds for change. They knew that everything in life is borrowed, every relationship, every possession, every breath. So when loss came, they faced it with grace. That is the mindset of the unshakable, gratitude without attachment. When someone leaves your life, don't curse them. Don't beg. Don't try to make them see your worth. Just thank them silently for the lesson and move forward with peace. The lesson might be patience. It might be self-respect. It might be the courage to walk alone. But there is always a lesson, and the faster you accept it, the faster you evolve. Remember, what hurts you today will heal you tomorrow if you face it with wisdom. The Stoics did not believe in avoiding pain, they believed in using it. Every heartbreak, every disappointment, every rejection, it's all material for growth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." That means the thing that breaks you can also build you if you allow it. So don't see loss as an end. See it as a doorway. When you let go of what's not meant for you, you make space for what is. When you stop chasing what's leaving, you start attracting what's right. Your energy changes. Your focus returns. You become lighter, calmer, stronger. And that strength is magnetic. There's something beautiful about someone who can let go gracefully. The world doesn't teach that kind of strength anymore. It teaches you to fight, to prove, to hold on. But true wisdom is the opposite. To release, to surrender, to trust that peace is better than validation. Because you can't chase peace and people at the same time. One will always slip away. When you let go, you begin to understand your worth. You realize that chasing was never about them, it was about your need to feel enough. You were not chasing a person. You were chasing a reflection of yourself that you hadn't yet accepted. And once you heal that part of you, you no longer need anyone to complete you. The Stoic learns to stand in solitude, to walk alone without fear, to know that being alone is not being lonely. It is being with the one person you should have never abandoned, yourself. The one you kept neglecting while you were chasing others. Seneca said, "The greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach." You don't need anyone to give you peace. It's already within you. You only need to stop running from it. The moment you stop chasing others, you start finding yourself. You start realizing how much energy you were wasting on people who didn't deserve it. And that realization is liberation. Letting go is not weakness, it's wisdom. It's the understanding that not everything deserves a fight. Some things deserve silence. Some endings deserve gratitude. And some people deserve distance. You can love them and still release them. You can miss them and still move on. You can remember them and still choose peace. Every time you let go, you rise a little higher. You step closer to mastery. You begin to live life the way the Stoics intended, calm, clear, and unbothered by the noise of the world. Because peace doesn't come from holding tighter, it comes from releasing gracefully. So when life tests you, when someone you love walks away, when the door closes, when the silence hurts, remind yourself, I will not chase. I will not beg. I will not lose myself trying to keep what's not mine. You are not meant to chase people. You are meant to attract peace, purpose, and self-respect. Let go, and what's truly meant for you will never miss you. Never chase anyone. Learn the art of letting go, and watch how your silence becomes your strength, your calm becomes your power, and your peace becomes your crown. Self-respect is the ultimate power. There comes a time when you have to choose between your self-respect and your desire to be loved. Most people choose love. But the wise, the Stoics, choose respect. Because love without respect is slavery, and attention without dignity is poison. The moment you sacrifice your self-respect to keep someone, you lose something far greater than their presence. You lose yourself. The Stoics taught that the highest virtue is self-control. To control your emotions, your reactions, your desires, that is where power lives. When you chase people, you lose that control. You hand it away to someone who may never understand its value. Marcus Aurelius said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." How much time have you wasted trying to convince someone to see your worth? How many nights have you spent replaying conversations, wondering what you could have done differently to make them stay? That's the tragedy of chasing. It turns you into a beggar for what should come naturally. It takes your strength and replaces it with dependence. But the Stoic does not beg. The Stoic stands firm even in solitude because he understands that the world bows to the person who refuses to bow to it. When you respect yourself, you create invisible boundaries. You stop explaining your value. You stop justifying your presence. You stop overextending yourself for people who wouldn't lift a finger for you. And that, my friend, is when peace begins. Because peace is not found in being accepted by everyone, it's found in being loyal to yourself even when no one else understands. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." That means you must be willing to be misunderstood. When you stop chasing, some will call you cold, distant, or arrogant. Let them. The world misunderstands peace because it has never experienced it. They confuse detachment with pride, silence with weakness, and discipline with ego. But the one who knows himself doesn't need to explain. His peace speaks for him. When you stop chasing, you create space for self-respect to grow. You begin to remember who you are without validation, without constant reassurance. You start noticing the power that was always inside you, the ability to choose who has access to your energy. And that choice changes everything. Because not everyone deserves your attention. Not everyone deserves your kindness. Your energy is sacred, and who you share it with determines the quality of your life. Seneca wrote, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you." That means stop chasing those who lower your standards, those who make you doubt yourself, those who drain your peace. Instead, invest your time in people who remind you of your strength. The people who encourage growth, who inspire calmness, who bring clarity, those are the ones worth keeping. But if you find yourself chasing someone, it's a sign that you've already forgotten your worth. Remember this truth: chasing is rooted in fear, fear of loss, fear of being alone, fear of not being enough. But once you face those fears, they lose their power. You realize that solitude is not the enemy, it's the forge where self-respect is created. The strongest minds in history were built in silence, not in crowds. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, yet he often wrote about solitude, discipline, and the importance of inner strength. He understood that leadership begins within. You cannot command the world if you cannot command yourself. So how do you build self-respect? You begin by keeping promises to yourself. Every time you say you'll do something, wake up early, stay focused, work out, meditate, read, and you actually do it, you build trust with yourself. That trust becomes confidence. Confidence becomes self-respect. And self-respect becomes power. You no longer need others to approve of you because you approve of yourself. That's the secret the Stoics lived by. Their happiness was internal, not borrowed. Their peace came from discipline, not attention. They did not chase outcomes, people, or recognition. They simply did the right thing, again and again, regardless of who was watching. Because the true reward of integrity is not applause, it's peace of mind. When you respect yourself deeply, you begin to attract differently. You stop settling for half-hearted effort, for inconsistent people, for temporary attention. You start demanding honesty, loyalty, and effort, not by asking for it, but by expecting it silently. Your energy will communicate it for you. The world mirrors how you treat yourself. If you chase, it runs. If you stand still, it approaches. There's a quote that says, "When you chase, it runs. When you let go, it comes." It's not magic, it's energy. People sense desperation. They feel when your presence comes from need, not strength. But when you operate from self-respect, you move differently. Your silence becomes louder than your words. Your boundaries speak before you do. Your energy says, "I am not afraid to lose anyone, because I will never lose myself again." That's what makes the Stoic unshakable. Their peace doesn't depend on outcomes. Whether they win or lose, whether people come or go, they remain centered. Because they know that everything external is temporary, only the internal is eternal. The Stoic mind is not distracted by drama or driven by desire. It is focused on virtue, discipline, and purpose. And when your purpose becomes greater than your need for validation, you become unstoppable. Understand this: the person who chases others is always running from himself. But the person who respects himself is always walking toward greatness. You can't chase people and chase purpose at the same time. You must choose one. The Stoic chooses purpose. Because people fade, but purpose remains. So if you've been chasing someone, their attention, their love, their approval, stop. Breathe. Turn your focus inward. Build yourself so strong that you no longer crave what you once begged for. When you become enough for yourself, no one can make you feel like you're not. That's freedom. That's power. That's what it means to be truly alive. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." So think thoughts of strength, not weakness. Of peace, not panic. Of self-respect, not self-doubt. Train your mind to be still, your heart to be patient, and your spirit to be unshakable. You owe yourself that discipline. The next time you feel that urge to chase, remember what you're risking. Your peace, your focus, your power. Ask yourself, is any person worth that price? The answer every single time will be no. Because no one deserves to be the reason you lose your balance. The one who values himself never runs after anyone. He walks with dignity, stands with strength, and lets the world come to him. That's not ego, that's evolution. So never chase anyone. Chase excellence. Chase discipline. Chase purpose. Because when you do, the right people will chase you, not because you needed them, but because you became someone worth following. That's what it means to live with self-respect. That's what it means to be truly free. That's what it means to have an unshakable mind. The power of walking away. There's a kind of strength that doesn't shout, doesn't argue, and doesn't explain. It simply walks away. It's not weakness. It's not pride. It's clarity. The ability to walk away from what doesn't align with your peace is one of the most powerful skills you will ever master. The Stoics called this discipline of detachment, a reminder that no matter how much you care, nothing is worth your inner calm. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." In other words, don't betray your values, not even for love, not even for acceptance. The moment you chase someone who doesn't see your worth, you abandon your integrity. But when you walk away, you reclaim it. And in that quiet act, you prove that your peace means more to you than their presence. Walking away doesn't always mean you've stopped caring, it means you've stopped forcing. You've stopped begging for what should flow naturally. You've stopped trying to convince someone to choose you. Because real connections don't need convincing. Real love doesn't need chasing. What's real never requires you to lose yourself to keep it. The Stoic learns that not every battle is worth fighting. You don't need to prove your value to those who are blind to it. You don't need to explain your boundaries to those who keep crossing them. You don't need to stay where your soul is slowly dying. Epictetus said, "When someone shows you what they value, believe them the first time. If they value you, you'll feel peace. If they don't, you'll feel confusion." Peace never hides behind mixed signals. When you walk away, you are not giving up. You are growing up. You're choosing maturity over attachment. You're saying, "I refuse to participate in my own pain." That's strength. That's control. The world has taught you that love means holding on no matter what, but the Stoics would say the opposite. Love means letting go when it costs you your sanity. Because love that requires you to abandon yourself isn't love, it's dependency. There's a kind of calm that enters your life the moment you realize you don't need to chase anyone. You stop overthinking, stop checking your phone every few minutes, stop rewriting messages you'll never send. You stop waiting for someone else to make you feel enough. You stop, breathe, and return home, to yourself. And in that silence, you rediscover who you are. Seneca said, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity. For he is not permitted to prove himself." Walking away is a kind of adversity. It hurts. It burns. It makes you question your worth. But it also purifies you. It teaches you what peace truly costs, and why it's worth it. You begin to understand that growth requires loss, and sometimes the heaviest weight you'll ever lift is the weight of letting go. When you walk away, you're telling the universe, "I trust that what's meant for me will meet me halfway." You stop trying to chase destiny, and instead, you align with it. You understand that timing, people, and situations are all under nature's control, not yours. The Stoics believed that peace comes from living in agreement with nature. So if someone leaves, let them. If something ends, let it. You cannot fight the flow and find peace at the same time. You must learn to see walking away not as a loss, but as an act of respect. For yourself, for your standards, and for your soul. Because the person who refuses to walk away when disrespected is telling the world, "My peace is negotiable." And once you make your peace negotiable, people will keep testing its price. But the moment you walk away, you show them it's priceless. There's a beautiful strength in silence. You don't need to announce your departure. You don't need to make them regret losing you. You don't need to post your pain or prove your progress. Your peace will be your proof. Your calm will be your comeback. Because the Stoic doesn't seek revenge. He seeks mastery. He doesn't chase closure. He creates it within. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Don't match their energy. Don't become bitter. Don't waste your days plotting how to make them miss you. Instead, rise so high in peace that their absence feels irrelevant. When you focus on healing, you become untouchable. You no longer react, you respond. You no longer chase, you attract. And what do you attract? People who move with the same calmness. Opportunities that match your energy. A life that feels light, simple, and aligned. You attract everything that was waiting for you once you stop chasing what wasn't. It takes immense courage to walk away when your heart still cares. But that's where real strength is born, in choosing peace over emotion, clarity over chaos. The Stoics were warriors of the mind. They didn't fight enemies outside. They conquered the battles within, the battle of attachment, fear, and ego. Every time you walk away from what disturbs your peace, you win that battle a little more. Let me remind you, you owe no one your peace. Not the person who left, not the one who betrayed, not the one who took your kindness for granted. You are not obligated to keep showing up where your value isn't recognized. You can love people and still love yourself enough to let them go. You can forgive without returning. You can care without chasing. Forgiveness frees your heart, but walking away protects it. Every time you walk away from disrespect, from drama, from emotional chaos, your self-worth rises. You teach the world how to treat you by what you tolerate. When you stop tolerating chaos, you invite peace. When you stop running after people, you begin to walk toward purpose. And that is what this journey is truly about, not rejection but redirection. Life removing what blocks your growth. The Stoics didn't waste energy on what they couldn't control. They didn't beg for loyalty. They didn't chase attention. They simply showed up each day, focused on their virtue, their duty, their purpose. And they trusted that whatever was meant for them would remain. That is how you must live. Give your best and let go of the rest. You are not here to chase. You are here to build, to evolve, to grow into someone who is whole without needing validation. When you walk away, you don't lose, you elevate. You rise above the noise. You make room for something better, something peaceful, steady, and true. So the next time you're faced with the choice to chase or to walk away, choose yourself. Choose your calm. Choose your dignity. Because walking away is not a sign of weakness. It's a declaration of strength. It's saying, I know my worth and I will not beg anyone to see it. Walk away from anyone who makes you question your value. Walk away from situations that drain your soul. Walk away from anything that costs you your peace. Because once you learn to walk away, you'll never have to chase again. You'll understand that the right people meet you where you stand, not where you run. That is the power of walking away. That is the strength of an unshakable mind. The art of becoming unreachable. There's a moment in every strong person's life when they stop explaining themselves. They stop trying to be understood. They stop proving. They stop chasing. That's the moment you become unreachable. Not because you've turned cold, but because you've turned inward. You've stopped waiting for people to see your worth and you've started to live it. To the Stoics, being unreachable wasn't about arrogance. It was about emotional mastery, the kind of calm that cannot be shaken by approval or rejection. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." That's the heart of becoming unreachable. When you stop giving your power away to other people's opinions, you begin to walk like a storm, silent, calm, and unbothered. Most people don't realize this. Chasing someone isn't just about running after them, it's about giving them your power. Every time you overthink, every time you question your worth because of someone else's actions, you hand them the keys to your peace. You allow their presence or absence to control your state of mind. The Stoic would call that slavery. Epictetus said, "If you want to be free, never wish for anything that depends on another." Freedom begins the moment you stop basing your worth on anyone else's behavior. Becoming unreachable doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care correctly. It means you choose where your energy goes. You stop pouring yourself into bottomless cups. You stop trying to fix people who don't want to be fixed. You stop setting yourself on fire to keep others warm. You begin to understand that peace isn't something you find in people. It's something you protect within. And here's what happens when you reach that level of calm. People who once ignored you suddenly notice your silence. Those who took you for granted feel your absence. Those who doubted your worth start to question their own. But by then, you've already outgrown the need for their validation. You've become too grounded to chase and too peaceful to explain. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." And what's braver than walking away from everything that once controlled you? From the need to please, the fear of losing people, the anxiety of being misunderstood. When you stop needing everyone to like you, you start liking yourself. You realize that your value was never meant to be proven, it was meant to be lived. Most people will never understand the quiet power of being unreachable. They think silence is weakness. They think not responding means defeat. But silence in the Stoic sense is strategy. It's control. It's choosing your battles wisely. It's refusing to waste your peace on meaningless arguments or emotional games. The strong don't react, they observe. They don't beg, they detach. They don't chase, they attract through stillness. There's a reason calm people are so intimidating. You can't manipulate them. You can't guilt trip someone who's at peace with themselves. You can't emotionally control someone who's learned to sit with pain without needing a savior. That's the Stoic ideal, emotional independence. The ability to face rejection, betrayal, or loss and remain centered. Walking this path changes how you show up in the world. You start moving slower. You speak less. You protect your time like treasure. You understand that not everyone deserves access to your energy. You become intentional about where you invest your attention, because you finally understand that attention is power. And you will never again waste it on those who drain it. When you become unreachable, you stop chasing closure too. You stop needing people to admit they were wrong. You stop replaying the past looking for answers. You simply say, "It is what it is," and move forward. Because peace isn't found in explanations, it's found in acceptance. Epictetus said, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." That's the mindset of a warrior who's done chasing ghosts. The truth is, people often respect your silence more than your words. When you stop reacting, they start reflecting. When you stop arguing, they start questioning. When you stop chasing, they start realizing. But you've moved beyond needing their realization. You've stepped into a new dimension, where peace is your priority and approval is irrelevant. Becoming unreachable also means your energy becomes sacred. You stop showing up everywhere. You stop replying to everything. You stop explaining why you're quiet, why you left, or why you changed. You realize that not everyone deserves an explanation, because not everyone was paying attention when you were speaking clearly. Your silence is the final message. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." That's your focus now. Stop talking about peace, become peace. Stop talking about strength, embody strength. Stop asking people to see your worth. Live in a way that makes it undeniable. The Stoic doesn't preach, he practices. His actions speak with the quiet confidence of someone who knows his own value. Here's the paradox of life. When you stop chasing, everything starts coming toward you. Opportunities, relationships, and peace begin to flow naturally because you've removed the resistance of desperation. You no longer operate from lack. You move from abundance. You radiate calmness and people can feel it. You attract those who value it. But most importantly, you attract yourself, the version of you that was lost in all the noise. To become unreachable is not to isolate, it's to elevate. It's to rise above the constant need to be seen. It's to detach from outcomes and focus on actions. It's to be so centered that external chaos can't touch your inner stillness. That's real confidence, not arrogance, not dominance, just calm certainty. Understand this. The world will try to test your peace. People will provoke you, ignore you, misunderstand you, and expect you to react. Don't. Let them learn that your silence is not emptiness, it's discipline. Let them realize that your absence is not anger, it's boundaries. Let them see that your distance is not hate, it's healing. The Stoics believe that you are never in control of what others do, only how you respond. And when your response is silence, when your reaction is calmness, when your energy is stillness, you've won. You've mastered yourself. You've become unshakable. Remember this, the person who chases is controlled by fear. The person who waits is controlled by hope. But the person who walks away is controlled by peace. Be that person. The one who doesn't chase love, approval, or closure. The one who no longer seeks validation, because he's found truth within himself. When you reach that state, you become unreachable not because you're cold, but because you're healed. And healed people don't chase. They flow. They attract. They rest. They trust. They understand that what's meant for them will never require them to beg for it. You are not meant to chase. You are meant to rise. You are meant to walk in peace so deeply that nothing can pull you back into chaos. That's what it means to live with an unshakable mind. Rebuilding yourself after walking away. There comes a point after walking away when the silence gets loud. The noise of the world fades and you're left with yourself, your thoughts, your regrets, your memories. This is where most people run back to what broke them. They mistake loneliness for emptiness. They believe they've lost something by letting go. But a Stoic knows better. He understands that this silence isn't punishment, it's purification. It's the beginning of rebirth. When you stop chasing, you reclaim your time, your energy, your focus. But the real work begins when you use that time to rebuild yourself. Because freedom without purpose is still a form of chaos. The Stoics never saw detachment as escape. They saw it as transformation. Epictetus taught, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. That's the path you're on now, the journey of becoming. After walking away, the first step is acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean approval, it means acknowledgement. It means you stop asking, why me, and start saying, this is what it is. Because the moment you accept reality, you stop fighting it. And in that stillness, strength begins to grow. Seneca said, difficulty strengthens the mind as labor does the body. This is your labor, rebuilding yourself one peaceful thought at a time. Understand this, walking away was not weakness, it was wisdom. It was your spirit saying, I deserve peace more than I need validation. Now it's time to rebuild that peace, not through distractions, not through replacements, but through discipline. Discipline is the backbone of healing. When you commit to routines, to growth, to stillness, you rewire your mind away from chaos. Every morning, you rise not to chase someone's attention, but to chase your potential. You train, you read, you work, you reflect. You rebuild not to prove anyone wrong, but to remind yourself who you've always been beneath the noise. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Stop explaining your growth. Embody it. Stop waiting to be seen, become undeniable." You'll notice something powerful as you rebuild. The same peace that once felt like loneliness starts to feel like freedom. The silence that once scared you becomes sacred. You no longer crave attention, you crave progress. You no longer chase people, you chase purpose. That's what the Stoics called living in accordance with nature. To align your actions with reason, not emotion. To act, not react. In this stage you'll feel tested. People from your past may return. Old habits might whisper. Your mind will try to convince you that comfort is safer than growth. But remember this, healing is not found in returning, it's found in rising. Each time you resist the urge to go back, you strengthen your self-respect. Each time you choose peace over chaos, you prove that your detachment was real. The Stoics believed that self-control was the ultimate freedom. It's not about suppressing emotion, it's about mastering it. When you can feel everything deeply but still remain unmoved, you've achieved a level of inner mastery few ever reach. You stop reacting out of pain. You start acting out of purpose. That's when your life begins to transform. Rebuilding yourself is not a straight path. Some days you'll feel strong, others you'll feel lost. But that's okay. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." Gratitude turns even the hardest days into progress. Each breath you take in peace is a victory over the chaos you once lived in. As you rebuild, focus on three things: solitude, discipline, and vision. Solitude teaches you to enjoy your own company. It reconnects you with your inner voice, the one that gets drowned out by noise and people. It's in solitude that you rediscover your strength, your creativity, and your purpose. It's where you realize that you never needed anyone to complete you, you just needed space to remember yourself. Discipline is the structure that keeps you standing. It's the commitment to your higher self. Wake up early, move your body, read, reflect, build. Every act of discipline rebuilds the confidence that chasing once destroyed. You begin to rely on your own effort rather than others' approval. That's how you become unshakable. Vision gives direction to your growth. It's what transforms healing into purpose. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to become now that I'm free? Because walking away loses meaning if you don't walk towards something greater. Create goals that excite your soul, not to impress but to express. The Stoics believed that a man without purpose becomes a slave to circumstances. Vision frees you. And as your vision strengthens, so does your energy. You start to radiate calm confidence. The kind that doesn't need to announce itself. People start to notice you again, but this time for your peace, not your pursuit. The same ones who once overlooked you begin to wonder how you became so steady, so composed, so untouchable. But you know the truth, you stopped chasing and started building. Rebuilding also means forgiving yourself. For chasing. For begging. For lowering your standards. For losing yourself. Don't carry shame, carry lessons. Every mistake was a teacher. Every heartbreak was a reminder of what you truly deserve. The Stoics didn't believe in regret, they believed in redirection. You're not behind, you're finally aligned. Remember this, the best revenge is not success, it's peace. Because peace can't be faked. It's the byproduct of self-respect, consistency, and focus. It's the silent answer to every person who doubted you. And when people see you calm where you were once chaotic, strong where you were once desperate, they'll know you've evolved. Your silence, your focus, your growth, they speak louder than any words could. You don't have to post about it. You don't have to prove it. The Stoic path is quiet. It's internal. It's about mastering yourself, not showing others that you did. Rebuilding yourself after walking away is not the end of something. It's the beginning of everything. You've shed the false layers of validation and stepped into authenticity. You've turned pain into discipline, loss into wisdom, loneliness into strength. You've become the type of person who no longer seeks to be chosen, because you already chose yourself. Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." That's your journey now, to master your mind, your focus, your emotions. To live so deeply rooted in peace that no storm can shake you again. You've walked away. You've faced the silence. Now you rebuild. You rise. You evolve. You walk with purpose, with stillness, with strength. Because the one who rebuilds himself after breaking, that's the one who can never be broken again. And that's what it means to never chase anyone. When you stop chasing, the world starts chasing you. There's a strange shift that happens when you finally stop chasing. At first, it feels like loss, like something precious slipped through your hands. But over time, as your silence deepens and your focus sharpens, you start to notice something powerful. The same energy you used to chase begins to flow back toward you. The people who once ignored you start noticing you. The opportunities you once begged for start seeking you. The world begins to chase you, not because you demanded it, but because you detached from it. This is one of the deepest Stoic truths. When you no longer need something, you attract it naturally. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The universe is change, our life is what our thoughts make it." When you stop filling your mind with worry, need, and desperation, you open space for calm, clarity, and power. And from that space, everything that aligns with you begins to flow. Chasing is resistance. It's a declaration that something is missing. When you say, "I need this person," or "I can't be happy without them," you're telling the universe that you are incomplete. But the Stoics taught that everything you need is already within you. You are not missing anything, you're just distracted by illusions. The illusion that someone else will complete you. The illusion that attention equals value. The illusion that love must be chased to be real. Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." The same applies to people. The less you need others to validate you, the richer you become. When your peace no longer depends on another person's behavior, you've reached emotional wealth, the kind that can't be taken away. And that's when life changes. People start to feel your energy. They sense the difference between someone who's desperate and someone who's detached. Desperation pushes, detachment pulls. Desperation says, "Please notice me." Detachment says, "I'm too focused on my purpose to beg for attention." And that energy is magnetic. Think about it. Why do we admire calm, confident people? Why are we drawn to those who seem unaffected, who move with quiet power? Because their energy feels rare. In a world where everyone's chasing approval, someone who doesn't chase stands out. That's why the Stoic man, the centered mind, the unshakable soul, all carry a certain gravity. Their peace is their presence. Seneca once wrote, "He who is brave is free." When you stop chasing, you become brave enough to be free. You no longer fear losing people because you understand that what's meant for you can never leave you. And once that fear disappears, your aura changes. You move differently. You speak slower with intention. You stop reacting and people notice that. They feel it. They start to wonder what gave you that calm, and without realizing it, they start chasing the very stillness that you found in solitude. The truth is, when you chase, you block your blessings, because you're trying to force what's not flowing. But when you release, when you trust timing and focus on yourself, the universe realigns. What's truly meant for you will circle back in ways you never expected. Not because you chased it, but because you became the kind of person it was meant for. You see, life operates on energy. What you fear, you attract. What you respect, you reflect. What you let go of gracefully often returns to you stronger, or gets replaced with something better. That's the Stoic way, to detach not out of bitterness but out of faith. To understand that every rejection is a redirection, every ending a quiet beginning. When you stop chasing, you also stop confusing attention with connection. You stop mistaking temporary validation for genuine value. You learn that not everyone deserves access to you. Your energy becomes expensive, and only those who align with your peace can afford it. That's power, the power of self-respect. The Stoics lived by this principle. Control what you can, accept what you can't. You can't control who likes you, stays with you, or understands you. But you can control your focus, your discipline, and your response. When you stop reacting emotionally, you gain the ability to respond rationally. That's when you stop chasing, not because you gave up, but because you grew up. And the irony? The moment you stop chasing people is the moment they start chasing you. But this time you won't even care. Because now your focus is bigger than approval, it's purpose. You're no longer trying to impress people, you're trying to impact yourself. That shift changes everything. You'll notice people saying, "You've changed." But what they really mean is, you're no longer easily controlled. You've stopped entertaining chaos. You've stopped explaining your worth. You've stopped being available for energy that drains you. You've become the mountain instead of the wind. Steady, grounded, immovable. And mountains don't chase. They stand. They rise. They remain. Marcus Aurelius said, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." That's how you become unchaseable. You no longer measure your worth by how others treat you. You measure it by how consistent you are with your values. You become strict with your discipline, your mindset, your peace. You treat yourself as someone worthy of respect, and slowly the world follows your example. When people feel your peace, they either rise to match it or fall away. Both outcomes serve your growth. The ones who align will bring harmony, the ones who don't will remove chaos. Either way you win. Because your focus is no longer on chasing, it's on choosing. Choosing your peace over noise. Choosing your growth over attention. Choosing your future over temporary emotion. And that's where true attraction lies, not in pursuit but in presence. When your energy speaks louder than your words. When your silence commands more attention than your effort ever did. That's when you've mastered the Stoic art of influence. Detachment is not about being emotionless. It's about being emotionally mature. It's knowing that love can exist without possession, that peace can exist without people, and that success can exist without noise. It's choosing calm over chaos every single day, no matter who stays or leaves. You become the kind of person who no longer says, "I hope they come back." You say, "If they do, they'll find a different me. Stronger, calmer, sharper, untouched by desperation." You've become the version of yourself that no longer runs toward anything, because everything you need is already within you. And that's the paradox of the Stoic path. When you stop chasing people, you start attracting peace. When you stop begging for attention, you start commanding respect. When you stop seeking love, you start embodying it. You've stopped chasing shadows and started becoming the light. So if you ever wonder when the world will notice your worth, remember this. It will, the day you no longer care if it does. Because peace doesn't chase noise. Light doesn't chase shadows. And purpose doesn't chase approval. It simply shines. And so will you. The power of becoming untouchable. There comes a point in life where you stop chasing people and you start chasing purpose. Where you stop running after validation and you start walking in self-respect. That point, that shift, is where you become untouchable. Not because you have everything, but because nothing has you anymore. The Stoics believed that true power isn't found in controlling others, but in mastering yourself. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This is the ultimate freedom, when your peace no longer depends on who texts you, who leaves, who stays, or who approves. When you rise each day grounded in your own purpose, your own values, your own calm, you've stepped into a strength that no one can take from you. The untouchable person is not emotionless. He feels deeply, but he doesn't crumble. He loves, but he doesn't beg. He cares, but he doesn't cling. His peace is his home, and no one else holds the keys to it. That's what it truly means to never chase anyone, to never hand over your inner stability for temporary attention. When you reach this stage, you stop reacting to everything around you. You no longer rush to prove your worth, to argue your side, to justify your silence. You understand that energy speaks louder than explanations. Your calm becomes your loudest voice. Your focus becomes your armor. You no longer need to convince anyone of your value because your consistency already shows it. Seneca said, "He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior." You become that warrior when you stop fighting for people's attention and start fighting for your discipline. You no longer fight for closure, you find it within. You no longer fight for validation, you validate yourself through growth. You no longer fight to be seen, you see yourself clearly. That's the evolution. You started as someone who chased love, who begged for respect, who waited for others to choose you. But now you've become someone who stands tall in solitude, who creates his own peace, who doesn't fear being alone. Because alone is where you found your power. The world tries to teach you that chasing is proof of love. But the Stoics would disagree. They'd tell you that chasing is proof of attachment, not love. True love is rooted in freedom, not control. It says, "I want you to stay, but I don't need you to complete me." And that's the kind of love that survives, because it's built on strength, not dependency. When you become untouchable, people feel it. They sense that your peace is expensive. They realize your time isn't free. They can no longer manipulate your emotions because you've learned to master your reactions. You respond with reason, not impulse. You act from purpose, not pain. You no longer need to prove anything because you've already proved it to yourself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." You start truly living the moment you stop chasing illusions. When you stop chasing people who were never yours, opportunities that weren't meant for you, and versions of yourself that no longer serve you, that's when life opens up. That's when you begin to live with intention. The untouchable mindset doesn't mean you isolate from the world. It means you engage with it wisely. You love deeply but with boundaries. You trust but with awareness. You give but not at the cost of yourself. You no longer move from emptiness. You move from overflow. You understand that everything you were chasing was already within you. Peace, love, confidence, validation. All of it. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Freedom is not about being distant, it's about being detached. You can care about people and still not chase them. You can want connection and still choose calm. Detachment doesn't mean indifference, it means inner balance. It means your happiness no longer sways with every external change. You remain grounded, centered, whole. The world will try to pull you back, through distractions, through people, through fear. It will test your silence. It will tempt you with comfort. But your mission now is clear, to protect your peace like a sacred temple. To never again hand it to someone who doesn't know how to hold it. When you stop chasing, you begin creating. You create discipline. You create focus. You create growth. The energy you once wasted trying to convince others now builds your empire. You become more creative, more productive, more alive, because your mind is no longer consumed by uncertainty or need. You start attracting differently too. People come not because they pity you or because you begged, but because they're drawn to your peace. They feel your balance. They sense your strength. They want to understand how you've become so steady while they're still lost in chaos. And in that moment, you realize something beautiful. The same world that once ignored you now respects your silence. But you don't crave their attention anymore. You've outgrown the need to be seen. You've learned to move with purpose, not to impress but to express. You've learned that power is quiet. That stillness is stronger than force. That true confidence is when you can walk away with peace in your heart and no bitterness in your soul. When you become untouchable, you stop reacting emotionally to temporary storms. Someone leaves, you let them. Someone misunderstands you, you let them. Someone disrespects you, you step back. You don't fight for what disturbs your peace. You guard your energy because you know that peace is the ultimate form of success. And that's the heart of Stoicism. Control the controllable, release the rest. You can't control who values you, but you can control how much you value yourself. You can't control how others act, but you can control your boundaries. You can't control outcomes, but you can control effort. And when your focus remains there, on what's within your control, nothing can shake you. Understand this truth: you were never meant to chase. You were meant to grow. You were meant to evolve into someone who leads, not pleads. Someone who attracts through stillness, not noise. Someone who commands respect not through words, but through presence. The Stoics would tell you this: you become unchaseable when you master your emotions, and you become untouchable when you master your mind. So walk with quiet strength. Don't run toward anyone. Don't explain your worth. Don't lose yourself trying to be chosen. You are already enough. You are already whole. You are already the calm in the storm. Let the world chase your peace, your energy, your silence, because you no longer chase anything. You've conquered the hardest battle there is, the battle within yourself. And from now on, no one can touch that peace unless you let them. That is what it means to have an unshakable mind.